always been like very, I guess, like unconventional. Like I often took the path that was less traveled from my peers. Even in elementary school, you know, people would be like, why do you work so hard? It's not like you can fail. And I was like, but I was just never satisfied with just, you know, getting passing grades. Like I wanted to do more. Like I wanted to be at my best. Like I enjoyed being at my best and achieving new things. And I don't know if that was just naturally in me or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like, where does that come from?
I don't know. I think it's just, I think it's in everyone. I think it's in everyone, but sometimes if you live in a certain environment, it's hard to get out, and I did find that sometimes. Like there would be times where I was like, yeah, why do I seem to be the only one that's, you know, trying to get good, you know, really high grades and trying to do all that stuff. And when I went to high school, I had the opportunity to go to PCVS, Peterborough Collegiate Vocational School, which is the oldest high school in North America, the second oldest. So super rich history, and what was special about it is that it had an arts program. So that's where my arts really got to flourish, and I think there just meeting some sort of like-minded people as well that wanted to work hard and things like that. But again, my journey in going to that art school was also a little bit different because everyone in my elementary school went like a different way. But I was like, but I really want to go to this, you know, arts program. So, you know, I went for that. So was it difficult to leave like my friends and stuff? Yeah, but, you know, at the end, the benefits were better. So I found that throughout my life, it's like, you know, everyone's going one way and I've kind of always gone my way because I know that those are where my goals are, and I found that it does always pay off in the long run. It's scary at first and you're like, is this the right thing to do? Because everyone else is going that way, but you're going this way. But I did. I mean, if I wouldn't have made the decision to be like, you know what, everyone's going to this particular high school, but I really want to be in this arts program. If I wouldn't have applied for it, like I would have never started my dance team. I wouldn't be where I am now. And the same thing happened when I graduated high school. I was always like an academically bound student because in Canadian high schools you have those two different streams or three, you know, academic, applied, essential, whatever. And the thought is if you're an academic kid, like you have to go to university, you have to do this, this, and this, and this. You know, if you're applied, okay, like you go to college and whatever. And I had been accepted at, you know, 3 of the top universities in Canada, at U of T, at Queen's, at Carleton.
In what field? In what field?
In Queen's it was for psychology, U of T it was for business, and for Carleton it was for, oh goodness, what's it called? Criminal justice or something like that. Oh yeah, well that was another thing. Like I was interested in so many different things, and the problem, well, not really a problem, but I was good at a lot. So it is because you have to choose, right? Yeah. So when you like a lot of things, you get a lot of things, and you work hard to make yourself better, and then you get to a point where you're like, what do you want to do for a career? So for me, what I really wanted to do, I liked art, I liked business. And there's very few careers that kind of have them together. But what I noticed was event coordination has them both, because you know you have to work with your client, you gotta, you know, you have a budget that you have to work with, so that means, you know, the finances is in there, marketing, advertising, you know, working with sponsors, like all of those business, you know, and planning elements are there. But then you have the artistic side when you get to, you know, like pick the colors and the fabrics and the theme and the music and the dance and, you know, and you get to hire your entertainment act. So I was like, well, that's perfect. That's using my background in arts, where I know, you know, singing, music, dance, visual art, whatever, with the things that I enjoy in business and organization and working, you know, human resource, like working with people and having a team. It combined the two. But what I ended up finding was that, you know, it wasn't something that was taught at the university level. I remember I went to the university fair and they were like, why don't you try nursing? And I was like, what? You know, it was almost looked down upon, and I was like, well, event coordinator, like, who do you think puts the Olympics together? Do you know what I mean? Who puts together the Oscars every year? Like, those are event like, you know, those are event managers, planners, special event, that's their job. And that's really what I wanted to do. But the only place where I really found that was at college. So what I ended up choosing, I chose a program at Humber College, and it was that kind of background, like event management was one of the courses, but it was in fashion, the business of fashion.
Okay.
So it was in fashion design. I learned all the business elements of fashion.
Nice.
So if I wanted to get something produced, I would know where to go overseas or locally, how to get it done. Everything from marketing and setting up your stores and merchandising, pretty much anything to do with fashion. Even if I wanted to know how to, like, I learned the levels of making a perfume or a shoe and the levels of production that needed to go. Yeah, it was an amazing program to give you a background. Like, you could be a buyer, you could open your own store, like you could do trade, like as far as concerned. Awesome. Yeah, like it was amazing. But bringing that back to why we started talking about it, when I turned down those university offers and went to college, it was like my guidance counselors were looking at my mom like, what are you letting her do? No. Like, are you crazy? And my mom was like, and that's a great thing I think about my mom, is she was just always so supportive, and she was realistic as well. She's like, why would you waste 4 years in a program, okay, it's a prestigious school, but 4 years in a program that you kind of like, and, I don't know, $40,000 or $50,000 like that later, and then just, go to college and look for something that you actually like. So I was like, that to me made a lot of sense. And that's what I ended up doing. That's
awesome.
And again, that's one of the reasons why I'm where I am now, because, if I would have continued in fashion, I mean, by second semester, I was already out there finding placements. And I remember I had the same placement at the head office of Tommy Hilfiger as a fourth year university student who was also in a fashion program. So it just goes to show that a lot of the times what they tell you too, from, if you're this way, you go there, and if you're this way, you go there, well, not necessarily. And I think that's the scary thing for a lot of people as well. Society says this.
Follow this.
Exactly. And that's kind of like, I feel like it's been a common theme in my life, actually, because again, with the studio, I started it when I was in my second year of college. Again, it's also taking advantage of opportunities from teaching at the YMCA, and then kind of feeling like I want a school. A lady had contacted me to teach for her, and she said, I want you to teach hip hop. And I thought, well, actually, I'm looking for a school, so, can I rent out from you and operate under my own name? Nice. I don't want to do your ballet, I don't want to do anything else, I just want to do hip-hop. So, in that way, it wasn't a competition, right? And, she was this, little Russian lady, like, super intimidating, like, she was great at what she did, like, her ballet was beautiful, and I was like, I was like 17, right? Like, I was like, because it was the summer I turned 18, I was like, oh. But my mom was like, hey, like, her motto was always like, no, you have, yes, you can get. So, like, by not asking, by not doing anything, you're not going to get anywhere. But you have nothing to lose, strong. Like, you might as well ask. So I did, and well, she agreed.
Nice.
So then that September, what we did was we just had 2 nights a week. I rented out on Tuesdays and Thursdays for 4 hours, and then I just had it split up into 4 different age groups. So my first year I had 18 students. I was still at school.
Just you?
Yeah, just me.
18 students.
18 students. I was still in school, like, full time. And then the funny thing is, when I graduated from college, and what I actually wanted to do was, my college had a joint program with a university in the States. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. I get my diploma. I can still, get my degree, and then. But I'll already be in the States, in New Jersey, close to New York, fashion capital. So, and that's the other thing about school too. Like, sometimes you have to be creative. There's a lot of different options like that too, where you can do diploma and degree stuff as well. So that was the second part of my plan.
Nice.
But then I had just run the first year of the studio, and then people were like, "So, do you have?" Because my ages were 8 to 18.
Okay. So
they said, "Do you have classes for, like, younger kids?" I was like, no, but I guess I could. And they were like, do you have a recreational program? Because right now I just only did competitive. So I was like, no, but I guess, okay. Like, it was something that I really hadn't thought about. Like, just how I never thought about, like, start a dance team, just choreographing it. I don't know. I had started the studio again. I'm like, I met my goal. I kept my prices low, and I was able to reach a lot of youth who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity. And then, it built from there where they started demanding different age groups, different classes, and I was like, okay. So unfortunately, the lady who had let me kind of, start out renting from her, she couldn't offer me any more days at that point. And so luckily we found another unit close to where we were, and and I was like, okay, so we got some of her savings together and started leasing that building and did the investment of like the mirrors and the floors and the sound system. And we went from pretty much being open 3-4 days a week. The next year was 5. Like, we grew from 18 students to 60 students.
And that's all just you as a teacher?
Yeah, in the beginning it was like, it was only me. Yeah, looking back, I'm like, how did I do that? I don't know.
Wow, nice. So, okay, so now you're there. So you graduated from college at that point, right? You're done and you're doing the studio. So I guess the New York thing was like.
Yeah, no, the New York thing was kind of like. Yeah. Not that it went out of the window, it was kind of at the back of my mind, because a lot of people ask me like today, even like, did you have a business plan? Did you have a plan? I'm like, actually no. Like I just went into it thinking like, this is something I'm gonna do. So now it grew into a real business where it was a full-time thing, where that became my main financial like thing to support myself.
Which is pretty amazing that you were able to kind of like, I'm just going to start my business. Oh, you know what? I can live off of that.
I look back and I think it's so funny because, I didn't really have a plan going into it. It was just, again, so focused on, this is my passion. I want to help. I see a need. So sometimes that can lead you to good places.
Yeah, obviously.
Too. It doesn't always have to come from like, I need to make money. Like, what can I do? So I kind of put the fashion thing on the back burner for a bit. I did try to do kind of like the online kind of school. I had then transferred some of my credits to Athabasca University because the other thing that I really liked was like public administration, like governance. Very curious to how the government works and whatever. My mind's like all over the place.
That's awesome. I think it's so cool.
So I tried to do that for a while, but it was too much. Like trying to run a business and then still doing the, I couldn't. So at a certain point, I think after third year or third year, I can't remember. I just kind of, I put that to the side and I thought, okay, let's just focus full time on the business.